Hey ProWriters, what's up? I'm Catherine and I'm a student at Stanford University. You normally know me from my YouTube channel, the Kathpath, but today I'm here to talk to you about the worst errors you can make in your college essays. You can check out my other videos in this series about the most common errors, the most common cliches, lots of fun stuff, but today we're going to be focusing on the worst errors, the big ones that you really want to avoid. My first two worst errors kind of go hand in hand, so we'll talk about them together. These errors come up when you're talking maybe about some sort of personal growth you went to. So let's say, I learned how to fail and not get super down on myself. The errors that surround this are one, not talking about the thought process that got you there, and two, not reflecting on what your life is like now that you've learned this and how you feel now that you've learned this. So maybe you talk about this huge failure that you had, and then you say, but now I've learned that it's okay to fail. That's great that you included that experience, but what thoughts actually brought you to that conclusion? Did you think, I failed in this huge way, but my life is totally fine and I learned a lot, so now I know it's okay to fail? It's missing those few thoughts in there that really connect the experience, example you're talking about with the growth you underwent. And then afterwards, it's really good to include, now that I've learned this, I live a happier life, a little more substantive than that, but just some sort of reflection or saying, now that I've learned this, I've tried X, Y, and Z new things because now I know it's okay to fail. So make sure that you're not only including that thought process leading up to the change, but also including the reflection post-change. Another awful thing that I see happening a lot in college essays is writing a sentence that is just so long, like as long as a paragraph, but it's just one sentence. And a lot of times this can be grammatically correct, conjunctions, semicolons, whatever you want to use, commas, little clauses. They can be grammatically correct, but they're just so long and choppy that the sentence is hard to follow. And the last thing you want to do is make an admissions officer feel like they have to work to get through your essay. Your essay should be an easy breezy read that they can get through, they can understand easily without having to think, okay, let me go back and really examine the sentence and every little clause and okay, where does this fit with this kind of a thing. It's okay to have shorter sentences that are easier to get through. You can show off your sort of like grammar and stylistic skills in other ways rather than having incredibly long sentences. Another one of the worst errors I see is making a claim and then not using examples to support it. So saying, I love trying new things, but then not including examples of times you tried new things. This is important because it not only gives you an opportunity to kind of prove yourself or prove what you've said or the claim you've made, but it allows you to talk about personal experiences in a really good context. So saying like, here's this thing about me, here's a bunch of examples to prove and show it about me, and also you're learning these new things about me, which is great. So make sure if you're ever including any type of claim, whether it's like about how you are now or how you used to be, something you learned, you're always including those examples after to really enrich the essay. Okay, ProWriters, make sure you avoid those at all costs and make sure you check out my other videos in this series as well. Thank you guys so much for watching.